Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Even the Scales. Thank you for clicking on my video today and I hope you're all having a good day. My name's Donna and today on my channel I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the MK Ultra mind control that the majority of my community and the police have been carrying out on me. First of all though, I would like to do an acknowledgement of country and first acknowledge the Dharawal people who are the true and original custodians of the land that I bring you these messages on today. I would also like to pay respects to elders past and present, as well as extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are watching this video today. So if you haven't heard my story, my community, the majority of my community and the police have been carrying out something called MK Ultra mind control on me. And if you are not familiar with what that is, it is a tactic used to psychologically torture a person by a large group of people. So it's where a large group of people get together and carry out all different abuse tactics on one person. And this is what has been happening to me. This has been happening to me for around the past 2 years. However, this all intensified around a year ago after I had wrote a letter to the police explaining to them how I had been treated over the past 9 years living with family and domestic violence, how I had been treated by the police and how they had responded to my calls is what I wrote in the letter, because the police were very unprofessional about how they handled those calls. So they don't want the community to know about that letter. This is what they are trying to cover up, because domestic violence, domestic and family violence is a huge problem in this country. People are losing their lives from living in these situations all the time. And yeah, the police don't want this getting out at all because it's not good for their image. Also, in 2020, I reported a pedophile to the police, and the police have done nothing about that person. That person is still living in the community. But the reason they did nothing about that person was to psychologically abuse me for no other reason at all, but to just cause me mental turmoil. Just because that person's still in the community and, yeah, they've done nothing about it. It's just to, yeah, have that psychological effect on me. That's why they've done that. There's also some other serious truths and crimes that the police have been involved in that they do not want to take accountability for. So it's all of these things as to why my community are doing this to me. I also had family members in the police force, as well as police officers that were connected to my family that have been involved in obstructing justice as well. My family have also stolen an inheritance from me that the justice system have helped them do, and this is another thing they're trying to cover up. So it's all these things. Apparently this is what they do to people in this country who speak up for justice for themselves and when they don't want to take accountability for what they've done. So if you haven't watched any of my other videos, you can go back and watch them, and it'll tell you on them some of the shocking abuse that I've been through that's been carried out by the police and the majority of my community, as well as a group of so-called health professionals at the local public hospital here. My whole family's involved in this as well. There are council workers that have been involved in this. There are certain charity organisations that have been involved in this. There are also other organisations involved in this that are meant to help me that won't help me, because these people have all taken bribes or donations, in return for not helping me. The police are obviously bribing these people and these organisations. And yes, there's some really shocking information in the other videos if you would like to go back and watch those. My family actually left me to die in the Campbelltown Public Hospital back in February, March of this year. This was something that was all set up by my community and the police and emergency workers, ambulance drivers. And it was set up so that I was taken to the local public hospital, which is the Campbelltown Public Hospital, where I was held for 5 weeks against my will. And what they did was, once they got me there, it was the doctors and the nurses and the other patients in the hospital's job to actually try and provoke a mental episode out of me. So I was abused for 5 weeks straight at the local public hospital. And there's actually a couple of videos that I've already made about all that information. Another thing, MK Ultra mind control is carried out to make someone feel like they have absolutely no help or support. They actually have totally isolated me, and it's to make me feel helpless or hopeless. It's also to cause me serious mental or physical illness or even death. A lot of people don't survive this, because obviously you can go online and look it up, MK Ultra mind control. It's been used in the past by other organisations, and a lot of people don't survive it. A lot of people either die from the abuse, or they commit suicide, or they just go crazy from the psychological torture that they're going through. Another thing that's been done to me is that I have absolutely no privacy whatsoever, and I haven't had any privacy for a long time. The police and my community have hacked all my devices, and there is also a listening device in my home that my community can listen to everything that I do inside my home. So I have absolutely no privacy. My human rights are being violated in a very extreme and disgusting way. And a lot of the people who live really close to me can actually hear everything that I do in my home. And I just think these people must be just like absolute weirdos, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Like, a lot of them just sit there all day. It's their entertainment just to sit there all day and listen to what I'm doing in my home, and to just try and come up with ways to provoke me. So, yeah, I just think those people are just so weird for doing that. And yeah, it's really creepy. It's just disgusting. But that's exactly what's happening. They are stalking me for entertainment. So what's been happening since the last time I spoke to you is that the police have been stalking me every day. On Saturday night, the police stalked me in a helicopter as well as the highway patrol at the same time. They had set it up to happen at the same time. And this went on for a good hour. They kept flying the helicopter over my home. They did it about 8 times. And they put the siren on in the highway patrol car as well, and they turn it off and on. And this is all just to induce fear and anxiety within me, and it's to intimidate me. And it's they also do it to rub it in that, they're not going to help me or anything like that. So it's psychological abuse, and they know I have PTSD already. So yeah, they're using my the conditions that I already have to try and make them worse. They have also stalked me when I've been out in the helicopter. There are also ambulance drivers that have stalked me when I've been out since the last time I made a video. Noise is also the main weapon that they are using to carry out this abuse on me. Any form of loud noise, any form of transport, anything that has an engine, they are using to carry out premeditated noise attacks. They're doing this on and off. Yesterday I opened up my glass door to let some air through my home, and because there is a listening device in my home, they've heard that I've opened up that door, so next minute there's all these loud cars coming up my street, one after the other. So this is just what they're doing, or they'll just get neighbours to start talking really loud out the front of my house and just trying to create just trying to disrupt my peace as much as they can. But it's just disgusting to think that they're listening to everything I do, even the fact that I've opened up a glass door, and yeah, they're taking advantage of that. They're also using trains and planes as well to carry out these noise attacks. And of course, if the police are terrorising me, my community think it's okay to do this to me as well. So I have no choice for my own safety right now other than to make these videos to raise awareness of what's going on in my town right now. The public need to know that there are things like this going on, and obviously they've done this to people before and probably gotten away with it. I live in Campbelltown, New South Wales. For those of you who haven't heard my story before, I live in Campbelltown, New South Wales, which is in Australia. Today I went out and I had people trying to cause me issues on the road. Once again, this happens every time I go out. Today I had a lot of ute drivers. So, you know, the large utes, not the small like sedan type, it's the larger type of utes. I had ute drivers trying to cause me incidents on the road. Also, when I go into shopping centres and things like that, I have like hundreds of stalkers that come towards me. These people mock me, or they will carry out some kind of psychological abuse on me. This has been happening since March of this year. And it doesn't matter if I'm at home or if I'm out. As I said, it's happening when I'm at home. The majority of the people that live around me are just doing anything to try and provoke me all the time. They're using power tools or they're projecting negative energy. There's one creep that just stalks me constantly. This person will deliberately stalk me when I'm going out or coming home, and this person is resorting to actually sexually harassing me, and they're doing it just to try and get a reaction out of me, because this constant provoking is all to try and get some kind of angry reaction out of me, just so people can say I'm crazy, which hasn't happened in the last. It didn't happen for the 5 weeks I was kept in the hospital. It hasn't happened at all over the last 9 or 10 months. So they just keep trying though. So it's them that's actually looking crazy right now for continuing to do this. And what's happened to me over this time is that I've actually, because I have been isolated, I've been able to focus on myself a lot more and just focus on my spirituality. And it's actually that has got me through this, and it's allowed me to have a lot of growth as a person. And I've developed unbelievable self-control, and I had to survive this There's no other way I could have survived this without having that self-control, being able to control my emotional reactions. I'm actually one of the sanest people in this town right now, I think, because, yeah, as I said, it's the people that are doing this to me that look crazy right now. Like even the police look crazy with what they're doing. And not only that, like I'm totally innocent. I haven't done anything at all. I'm a 58-year-old grandmother who keeps to myself, and this is all being done to me for absolutely no reason whatsoever other than the police they just want it hidden. They don't want to take accountability about what happened to me while I was living with family and domestic violence and how they responded to my calls for help, as well as the psychological abuse they've been carrying out on me for the past 2 years. And on my last video, I talked a lot about what people's motives were, what was driving them, to doing this to me. And, I know with the police and a lot of the general community, it is a cover up. A lot of the organisations and the businesses that have been involved in this up until now, including the hospital staff, they don't want the truth getting out. So it's mainly these people that are continuing the abuse right now. They want to cover it up. A lot of these organisations have taken donations in exchange for abusing me, and a lot of people have taken bribes. My family and the people close to me that have taken part in this have also taken bribes to be a part of it. And I've also realised that a lot of what has been driving them to do this to me is jealousy and their own insecurities. A lot of my family and friends actually were pretending to be my friend and pretending to be supportive right up until the time when I was taken to the hospital, when I was set up and taken to the local hospital for the 5 weeks. A lot of them were pretending to be my friends right up until that point, while they were actually being paid to be a part of this. And yeah, I've realized that a lot of those people were actually always fake to me, and they were also, a lot of them, secret haters of mine that I had no idea were haters at the time. So yeah, I feel like a lot of what drove them to do this was their jealousy and insecurities. Something about my energy perhaps made them jealous or feel insecure about themselves. And when they were asked to do this and they were offered money to do it, obviously, like, it was like a golden opportunity for them to hurt me and to have some kind of control over the direction of my life. So this is why I feel like a lot of the people that were close to me and my family have, been so invested in doing this to me. I think some of them were actually excited at the chance to try and destroy the foundation that I have been building up for myself, because I was actually doing quite well for myself when the setup took place and I was taken to the hospital. I think they seen it as a great chance to make me feel isolated and alone, and it just really suited their liking at the time, and was also a chance for them to spread lies and turn other people against me, because I was never supposed to survive this. So they never thought that their lies would get found out. So I was never meant to survive it, and the truth about the lies that they've told were never meant to, come to light. So I do believe that a lot of these people, it actually made them feel good about themselves that they were doing this. A lot of them are still working hard every day at trying to send this negative energy towards me, projecting onto me. A lot of them are actually, they've been working overtime at it because they're actually panicking because it's not working at all. I think because there were so many of them against one person in the beginning that they just thought it was a sure thing, and they just got really overconfident with themselves and they celebrated too early. They celebrated my downfall too early. And I think a lot of them have also forgotten that the whole thing, why this started, it's all based on one huge lie. None of it's real. It's all a lie. Everything that's being carried out right now is all set up. It's not even real. So this is another reason, why I don't let it affect me, because it's not even real. It's like I can't have an authentic experience when I go out because everywhere I go, there are people set up to stalk me. So it's all fake. And some of these people, they spread so many lies that I think over time they've started actually believing them, and they just want the lies to be true so much. But my energy is actually proving their lies wrong. And yeah, this is another reason why they're panicking, because the people that they've lied to are seeing, like, why did you lie about this person? That's because I was never meant to survive it. I was never meant to get out of that hospital. So a lot of them, yeah, their lives have actually depended on me getting sick or dying. That's the reality of it. And it was meant to either cause me serious illness or death. That's the reality of it. And as I said, I've actually grown as a person through all this. I've become very confident and very comfortable in my own skin. I'm happy and content to be alone as well, and I don't need anybody else to validate me in any way whatsoever. I know who I am, and no one can alter the way that I think about myself, because this is what they're constantly trying to do. The people around me are desperately trying to make me feel low about myself, and it's just not happening, because this is what happens, like, when you actually, grow as a person. You get to a point where no one else can affect your mindset. So this is what they wasn't depending on this happening at all. And it's actually caused a lot of their plans to go left. And yeah, I did used to be a very insecure person, and I think a lot of them based, their plans on me being the old version of myself, which is definitely not who I am now. I did used to be someone who did overgive to people. And now I've just got to the point where I would rather be alone. If I have people in my life that aren't willing to give me equal give and take, I'd rather be alone right now. So that's just the way it is. And I've also come to the conclusion that I must be a pretty strong and powerful person for the police and so many people in my community to want to see me suffer or want to see me go through a downfall. So yeah, this whole experience has actually just made me a lot stronger, and it's helped me to have a lot more self-control. So that's just what I just thought I'd share with you what I have noticed about what has been perhaps driving these people, what their motives have been. That's just something that I realized about a lot of the people that were close to me and my family members that have just been so invested in doing this. I think a lot of it was based on their personal insecurities, And not only that, like I even think because I had police officers that were connected to my family and family members in the police force, that some of them also took out their personal insecurities on me as well by obstructing justice. They just didn't want to see me have justice and they wanted to see me suffer. So, another thing is, yeah, I've done nothing to my family members either to deserve this, or my friends. I was actually very good to all of them. So, this was actually very shocking to find out that they were all involved in this. And, I've sat here and I've tried to think about what I would have done if the shoe had been on the other foot and someone had asked me to do this to one of my family members or close friends. And I can tell you now that I'm damn sure I definitely wouldn't have done it. But every person in my family and everyone that I had that I was connected to was very willing to be a part of this. So yeah, it's really unbelievable. But yeah, I'm sure I wouldn't have done it. But that's just me. That's how different I am. So I'm going to leave it there. And I want to thank everyone for listening to my video today that's listened to the end. And I will talk to you on the next one. God bless. Bye for now.